What's up with y'all? Another video from Chris here at Trap Visions TV. I had another message for y'all today. Today's message is going to be centered around taking care of yourself and having patience. Uh, why I'm talking about taking care of ourselves today is because in reality, when you really think about it and when you really analyze life, that's all you have. You're all you have. I'm going to expand on that. You can only control your actions. You can't control how other people react to what you do or to their own thoughts or to their experiences in life. You just can't. Even when you feel like you're persuading them or you're doing a good job at that, you never truly know. But what you do know and what you do feel the strongest and the best is that you can control yourself. You can move your body how you want. You can speak what you want how you want. You can think the way you want. Um, and you're really beholden to really only your feelings and internal states. You don't feel anyone else's suffering unless they share it with you, unless you observe it and can empathize with that. But until you are exposed to that, you only have you, your own thoughts, your own actions, and your own experiences in this life. When your life started, you were there as you. When you go, that will be the end of your life and no one else's. Um, so it's always best to have this mindset through life and maintain that control and maintain that inner power. There's nothing to be taken for granted, nothing to be looked over because it is extremely powerful. It's quite ironic that, in a lot of our days, most of the hours of a lot of our days, we're so wrapped up in other people's thoughts and beliefs and opinions. Um, and the people who we admire the most and get wrapped up in are people who are what most nowadays would call narcissistic, quote unquote, which which most of the time people are just describing people who are very self-reliant um, and proud of themselves. So athletes, world-class comedians, business people, wealthy folk, people who have high self-esteem. These are all categories of people who have mastered the the art of self-reliance and the art of self-control and the art of self-direction, the art of focusing on the self. When you focus on other people, for instance, let's say in the gym, if you go to the gym and you're there, for 2 hours, but you spend an hour and a half, two of those hours looking at other people's physiques, not getting that workout in that you need to for yourself, you can go forever for the rest of your life to the gym, but you won't be making gains. If you focus on other people's beliefs and, and and opinions of how you should live or how the world ought to be, you get so wrapped up in their head that you never get to formulate and execute your own plans, your own ideas. And another reason why you should never get wrapped up in that mindset, getting wrapped up in other people, is because they truly don't care. Even when people give you very opinionated takes, they're really just projecting either their own insecurities or their own lack of knowledge onto you. So if a person is telling you not to head down the road in terms of a career path, in terms of a business idea, or a lifestyle that you want to indulge in, most of the time, them themselves, they themselves have not went down that road at all, or at least not to the extent that you're trying to go or have gone already. So if you're making music, if you want to do something in school, if you have a lifestyle change, a physical change, any type of change or thought or impulse, it's always best to evaluate it initially with yourself and mostly with yourself. I'm not saying, to never connect with people and never share your ideas and projects and aspirations. But after all, they are your projects, ideas, and aspirations. So why not take your voice and your opinions most seriously, regardless of what the outer world thinks? Oh, Another reason or a substantiation of adopting this philosophy is that this is the philosophy that most, if not everyone, who has accomplished very high actions. This is what they've done. So LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Steve Jobs, Barack Obama, um, Bill Gates, Jesus Christ. These were people, individuals who didn't focus on that outer world. A Kobe Bryant, a Jesus, a LeBron James, a Michael Jordan, etc., gets way more criticization than most average folk, than any average folk on the planet. They still withstand much more of that criticization than, or my bad, I'm saying criticization, criticism than most average folk. Most average folk don't even face the amount of scrutiny because they're not seen on national television. They're not seen on the international stage. They're being criticized by family members or a handful of friends or colleagues at their workplace or in their smaller community. You feel me? Um, so, in my eyes, I truly believe that everyone ought to stop caring about what other people who are not on board and willing to understand and help them think. It's not helpful at all. It only drains your spirit and it only takes your eyes off the goal. So you allowing those thoughts and that pessimism to enter your spirit will actually turn you into that failed outcome. People are telling you you can't do something. You stay in that environment. You remain there, taking that pessimism. You're going to inevitably and eventually become a failure. Or even if you do achieve what you set out to achieve, most of the time it'll be much less than what you truly wanted, if not, just nothing at all. Tying in with focusing on yourself and not being wrapped up in other people's opinions and perspectives about how you should live your life is being patient. Why patience is key in this life as a human, as a person navigating this experience, is because that's all there is, at least on the good side. On the productive side of existence, on the side of existence where things get done, the right things get done in the right ways and how they ought to, um, in the most prosperous fashion, there is always patience. That is the commonality between all high performers, between people who achieve, between people who progress, between people who are able to love and experience most authentically. Patience is allowing me right now to spontaneously think about what I have to give y'all the knowledge that I'm giving you right now. Patience drives love. Patience drives progress. If you want to work very hard, you have to be patient within that pain. You have to be patient in those moments where you're pushing your body. You have to be patient in those moments where you don't have what you think you ought to have, but you still keep going. You still keep progressing and becoming something new, becoming something better, becoming something more of yourself. When we're impatient, we rush things. We do things that we don't really want to do, that most of the time, if not all the time, we don't need to do at all. Impatience leads to intolerance. If you're impatient with someone, you don't even want to stand them. You don't even give them an ear to listen. You are not patient. If you're not patient with yourself, you won't even give yourself the time to be alone enough in a quiet enough environment to think about yourself, who and what you are, and who and what you want to become. Patience is knowing that you're already where you want to be, but you have to remain in the present moment, and you will always have the present moment. Patience is this: we all die. We're all mortal beings, whether it's 2 more months from now, 5 years, you live until you're 60, 70, 80, etc. A patient soul would look at that and say, well, I still have all of this in front of me. I'm still here in the right now, and I'll always only ever be that, just the right now. So why not experience everything, which is always going to be the right now, and let my death, let whatever that will be in the future, come to me. An impatient person is a person who gets deluded by their vices, by the perceived terror of death, the perceived terror of working hard, of risk. But that's just an illusion because patience tells us that we are already what we want to become. Every idea that you want to formulate, that you want to manifest in this physical realm, in this material realm, can be done. Whether it's a highly articulate statement, a book you want to write, your family, for example. You might be 18, 19, 20 right now. You don't have a family, but that's not to say you don't have a family. A few years from now, you're 26, 27, in your 30s. Your family is there. Your son, your daughter, they're born already. Your wife, your husband, they're with you already. But you can't skip that. How you can skip a video or skip digital media dealing with people. There's no way you could skip dialogue. This is not a video game. If you're saying something to a person and then you just stop, or they stop you because they're impatient or you're impatient with yourself, they never get that information. They never allow you to formulate that. You don't allow yourself to formulate those ideas. You don't give yourself that time to express those ideas. So you see there the impatience, which is an idea, which is an action that you decide to enact in the present, leads to the inaction. Impatience is an action. When you're patient with yourself, you work through all. And another component of it that ties in with these concepts and these behaviors is the understanding that comes with patience and the understanding that is necessary for patience. If you're understanding something, you understand the ins and outs of it. You understand its complexities. You understand the whys, the reasonings behind it, the implications of it. And that allows you to be patient, and vice versa. Patience leads to understanding. Like I said earlier, when you're patient with the person, you sit with them and you understand them. Even if you don't understand them, you practice that patience in the moment to get to that point where you do understand them. When you're patient with yourself, you give yourself that time to understand oneself. You can't understand something you're not patient with. I'm gonna go simpler. In school, right? Or not even in formal school. Anytime you're acquiring knowledge, trying to input information into your brain, embed information into your mind, it's necessary that you're patient. For you to read, you have to be patient. For you to read and fully comprehend the words on the screen, on a piece of media, on a piece of paper, you can't skip through that. You can't glance at a page for half a second, not read any lines, and conceptually understand the information that is contained on that page. Everybody on this planet has to read. You have to go line by line at whatever speed you are, some slower, some faster. And you have to coherently understand all of that information. You have to think about what the sentences are saying, how the letters are forming together to input a certain message into your own mind. And then once it's in your mind, you have to again practice patient, remain patient, so you can dissect that information. You can form your own beliefs and your own interpretations of that information. If you're devoid of patience, you will never be able to dissect the information and truly and authentically experience anything, whether it's a person, the beauty within yourself, the information from this world. It takes time. It takes time to do everything. Everything is time. Everything is within time. Time is not bound from anything, any concept, any physical manifestation in this world, in this experience, in this universe. It's inevitable for patience to, always lead to understanding and to progress. When we're impatient, we don't get to progress. We don't get to think. We don't get past those vital and necessary steps that come before action, that come before understanding. So this is why I brought that up today. But that's the message for this video. It's a little bit shorter, uh, or a lot shorter than my other videos. But at this point, I do feel like I got everything I needed to off my chest. Let me know what y'all think about my ideas in the comments below. If you like this content, if you like my content and the message I'm sharing with you, you know, don't be afraid to subscribe, to stay alert with the channel and my uploads. Like the video or dislike it so I can know what's wrong, what I can add, what I can take away. And thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I wish you your best on all your endeavors, on your progress, and your growth as a human. Thank you. God bless you, and I love you. Peace.